a little behind the scenes look for you of what we actually film within this place. Little bit of history on this shed. When I was building it, it had some issues. As far as leaking was concerned, it would leak down on the floor down here, and there'd be floor wet that's down here as well, which I traced back to, so you can find them, these holes here where you join the seams together, and these here where you have the holes going through into the material. What was happening was, on the outside you get these little plastic sealing washers to stop water ingress. Now the issue was with them, where's that screw I had, there it is. The issue that I had with it was that these screws, because the material is so thin, there's actually no thread at the top by the head, you see up underneath there? So they come through, they spin, they don't actually clamp down on the washers on these. Now I guess in theory you can use these to try and tighten up on that screw, but that wasn't working for me. I was still getting water, and every time the wind got up, the roof rattled and it would create a gap, release the pressure on the washers, and then you get water ingress around the washers that would come through and just drop water everywhere. To solve that issue, what you do is get yourself a pipe cutter, you get yourself some of this, which I believe is 6mm aluminium hollow tube, which you can get from B&Q, places like that. Nothing fancy, quite cheap, one rod does you plenty. Take your pipe cutter and you want to cut, screw out of the way, little pieces. Let's see if we can get some focus on here. Little pieces, about 10mm long, if that, 8 or 10mm long, just enough to cover the sharpness on the threads. And from there, you take a screw like that, and you screw it into these to create a thread. Just a bare one inside, only just fits, but it's enough. And instead of using these plastic crap, you use these and you screw them on, tighten them down into that with the material clamped in between and the washer obviously on the screw. That will compress the washer, that will maintain your seal, and that will give you a much better option as far as stopping leaks is concerned. Alright, so it doesn't take long to do. If you whack this in a drill, put it in reverse, otherwise it doesn't work properly. Put it in reverse, spin it, cut it with this, and all you do is just wind it in about a turn. As it cuts, it just drops one off. I'll tell you what, let's get that on there. Let's do a little demo, shall we? We've got a drill. Yes, we've got a drill. There we go. Let's put that in the drill. Open this up. What I found is a good marker is if you put it in roughly level with the end of the rollers, like so. Can you see that? And then let's get it in the right place. It's hard to do. I'm trying to film as well. Line it up roughly there. Put it in reverse. It just works better that way. Spin it and just tighten that down. There you go. So you can make loads of them with not too much hassle. You get a nice clean cut. Take your piece, take a screwdriver, you can grab that with a pair of pliers or more grips, whatever else, and thread at the other end of this one. Yeah, there's that one. And screw it in there to pre-thread it slightly, and then when you get to the using them, there you are. Just nip them down until you get some compression on these little plastic washers, like that. And you'll compress the washer and you'll get a decent seal, and it won't lift in high wind either, at least it hasn't done so far. There you go. Nice and simple. Nice and cheap. Throw these away, they're useless. And that should seal up the leaks you've got. Yeah, little tip for you building these little sheds.